Hi, my name is Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Is Your Business For Real? This is a show in which we help a new or struggling business owner with their business. As we explore their new or struggling business, we will give them practical business ideas, tips, and ways to improve their bottom line. We will also help them determine, well, if their business is for real or if they should start to rethink the idea of their business. As a serial entrepreneur, I have experienced businesses that have both failed and succeeded. I am here to share some of the many lessons learned along the way. Along with my expertise, each episode will also have a special guest expert, as we together help the business owner and determine, is your business for real? Today, our guest expert is Trevor Krill, and he is the founder of the Krill Group. The Krill Group is a company based on the principle that every company's goal is to achieve maximum profitability. Trevor is an entrepreneur, author, speaker, mentor, profitability expert, and a leading authority in solving business problems. Trevor has owned, operated, bought, or sold over 10 companies in the last 20 years in a variety of industries. These companies range from ice cream stores to national technology companies. After consulting for many years, Trevor understands that many companies need to develop a profitability plan which is not just about dollars and cents, but includes personal, professional, and social enrichment. Trevor is also the author of the book, Profitability is Priority One. In this book, he outlines the steps necessary to make any business profitable. The book covers tips, techniques, and strategies for growing any business, even in the toughest economies. Our guest business owner today is Kay Scanlon, and she is in the health and wellness field. She is on our show today as a new business owner, and we are here to help her. Welcome, Kay.
Thanks.
And welcome, Trevor.
Thanks, Larry.
So, Kay, tell us all about your business.
Well, I have a brand new physical therapy practice. I've been practicing for many, many years, and I recently started out on my own. And I specialize in McKenzie. It's a specialized type of therapy to treat pain of the spine or the extremity joints. And probably the biggest challenge I have is that I'm doing most of it on a cash basis because insurance companies today are very restrictive. They're not letting new providers in. Even though I've done therapy for a long time, they're not letting new providers in. So I'm doing most of it on cash, except for some of the federal programs.
That could be a major challenge.
Sure is.
any health and wellness business not being able to take insurance. So let me ask you. Let me just take a step back. Your background. You said that you been in the business for a long time. Mm-hmm. And how many years did you say you were in business for?
30.
Okay, so you've been in the business for 30 years. And was it always the same type of thing?
I owned a business for almost 20 years and sold that in the early part of the 2000.
What type of business was that?
That was a physical therapy practice as well. And we grew that quite successfully. And both my partner and I decided we wanted to do something different. She was moving out of the area. I wasn't in a position at the time to buy out her share. So I decided to go ahead and sell the business and try some other things. I did some teaching for a while, and I've been subcontracting in another clinic, and recently decided I really want to go on my own. I don't like the way that corporate medicine is going. What I do is very, very different.
So how long has this current business been in business?
1 month.
1 month. Wow. Okay. So
You are new.
Yeah, we got it just in time, didn't we?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Very new.
And you said it was called McKenzie?
The type of therapy that I use is McKenzie.
Is
yes.
it a new type of therapy, or is that something that's industry
No,
standard?
but not very many people practice it because it takes a lot of training and a lot of discipline. So there are not that many people in the area that practice McKenzie type of treatment. And it's very specific because you spend a lot of time one-on-one with the person. And that's why I thought going out of the insurance model might work well. As long as people understand how different it is, a lot of times it can help people who've been in pain a long time and haven't had any success through the traditional model.
And is there certifications and stuff?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very extensive.
All right.
So the McKenzie method, is it something, is it very different than what a chiropractor would do, or is it?
There's some
That's what I was gonna get at.
similarities in
Yeah.
what chiropractors do, but our philosophy is quite a bit different. We do a lot of teaching and educating the patient how to manage the problem on their own so they don't have to come back and be dependent on me. We try to make them independent of therapy.
And how long would the treatment be?
Generally, typical 8 to 10 visits,
Okay. Over what period of time?
maybe a month.
And what do you bill per visit typically?
Well, my cash charge is discounted off the fee schedule, but we can't really share that. That's
Okay,
as a
that's okay.
healthcare
I'm
provider,
trying
we
to
have
figure out.
But I do
Right.
discount my normal fee schedule about 25%.
Okay,
for
but you're
cash.
not accepting insurance now.
So for the Medicare, workers' comp, and
Oh, I
auto,
see.
I can
Okay,
bill
okay.
them. So
Okay,
my cash
gotcha.
is 25% off of that.
Okay.
But you can't say what if I were going to go pay cash, you can't tell me what
I
the
can
charge.
tell you, but I can't make it a public.
Right, I understand what
Okay.
you're trying to say. But I guess what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out what the, whether how much per customer or per client you're going to be making.
Right.
Not only that, but let's just, for argument's sake, let's just say you're going to charge $100 per visit, and it's 10 visits.
Right.
How much cash flow do you need to make the business work for a month?
Well,
What's your expenses?
that's still kind of coming along because I did this very quickly. I have a very low overhead, and so at this point, I don't have a real good handle on my expenses.
Are you
And
working on your
I
own?
had some savings ahead of time so that I knew I could pull in that until things start to build up.
But you don't have any kind. I'm sorry.
No, that's good.
You don't have any kind of budget or anything like that where I have to treat 10 patients a month and make $1,000.
If I can do 10 a week, I can make it.
So it's 10 a
week
week.
is a lot.
10 visits a week.
Oh, 10 visits, okay, gotcha.
10 visits.
Okay.
So some of those will be repeat visits.
So now, are you working at your home or do you have an office?
I have an office.
Okay, can you disclose the rent?
It's $350 a month. I'm subletting space.
Okay, that's great.
Okay.
And
So
then
I'm
what other
very, very
expenses do you have?
small.
You have a phone expense?
Yep, I do. I have. That's probably runs me about $70 a month for
Okay.
the phone. I started out with electronic software and decided at this stage I was going to just ditch that. It was too much money, and I could really just do paper charts for right now.
Okay.
I will have a $20 a month charge to do Medicare billing, so that will probably come into play.
Any other larger expenses?
An equipment that's $225 a month, piece of equipment that I have.
Is that a lease or is that a loan?
It's a purchase.
Okay, so you're paying that to a credit card or to a person? Okay, great.
And is it just yourself right now, or do you have
Just myself.
secretary or anything like that?
I'm chief cook and bottle washer.
That's good.
So that was another reason I had to get rid of the software. I was spending so much time inputting information up front and then doing the documentation and then doing the billing that I just said, this is just too much for one person. I'll do it by paper for now, and as things grow, I'll look at software again.
So how are you expecting to get your clients?
A lot of it is word of mouth, people that have been to me before, because I've had quite a following over the years. People that search for Mackenzie, there's a website that they go on and find providers in the area, and I'm one of the few in the area. And also there's a group of physicians who feel very strongly that their patients need to see Mackenzie therapists, so I'm in touch with them constantly.
Who would be the perfect candidate? Like, what type of person needs
Anybody
Mackenzie?
with back and neck pain who either has immediate pain and they want to get rid of it fast, or maybe they've been through traditional therapy, they've had injections, maybe even surgery, and they haven't had complete resolution of their problem.
So it doesn't treat anything specific?
No.
Okay. Are you talking to the doctors that treat that type of pain?
Absolutely.
And don't have any kind of success, and they can refer them to you?
Right. So a lot of the orthopedic surgeons who are key in this, pain management physicians, interventional radiologists, anybody who sees a lot of patients with neck and back pain will use this technique, both to screen patients but also to treat those who haven't been successful.
And how many patients do you have right now?
I have probably 12.
Okay.
Now, those 12 patients, based on what you're telling me, though, that's only a month's worth of work. Okay.
Right.
Just want to make sure.
So I have to constantly make sure I'm getting new people in the door. So
Right.
since I've started in the month, I've had 5 new patients. So that's
In January?
In January.
Okay. Not so bad.
It's actually pretty good, especially for a month old. And these are repeat people who've known before?
No, none of these were repeat. They were all new.
And they're all paying cash.
Do they?
I'm
do you
impressed.
ask- No, that's pretty good, actually. Do you ask them for referrals?
Yes, I do. I need to probably do a lot more of that towards the end of their treatment. But I definitely, please tell your friends, your family, and that's how often I'll get new referrals. They have success, and then they tell somebody else.
Actually, the best time to do that is in the beginning of the treatment.
Okay.
If you meet them and you set up parameters and you say, as long as I do what I'm supposed to do here and you're happy and pain-free, can you give me 3 or 5 people? Because generally people who are in pain like that would know other people that are in pain. But if you set that bar then, they're thinking about it, and then you can come back after the
Okay.
treatments and have a follow-up and
Good
say,
idea.
were you happy with everything? And give them actually a piece of paper where they can write the names down. Otherwise, it's the end of the treatment, they're almost done, they're getting out the door, and you're like, oh, wait a second.
Right.
Can I have some
Okay.
referrals? And
That's a
they're
good
like,
idea.
sure, I'll get them back to you. And they never do.
How about billing? Do you bill them per visit, or do you send them bills?
No, they pay at the time of visit. So
Okay,
I'm
good.
set up to be able to take credit cards. I did that right off the bat because I knew if people were paying cash, that might be an issue.
Right. Yeah, and you have to do that with a business like yours. You have to get paid the day of service. If not, you're never going to get paid. Is
Right.
what'll end up happening, because you can't even afford to go after the people who don't pay you.
Right.
So that could be a rough situation for you. So let's talk a little bit about your marketing. Have you done any marketing? Any outside marketing?
I've just started in this last week. I'm going to go into a local store that sees a lot of people with back pain, relax the back, and I'm going to be giving a talk there. So they have kind of a captive audience on a Saturday afternoon and come in and talk a little bit about the method I use. I've also contacted a group of physicians at an area hospital. I'm going to go in and do a presentation for some of them about this practice.
Okay, excellent.
Have you thought about possibly giving away 1 or 2 free samples, whether it's 1 or 2 visits, or when you go have these speeches and talks, you could go ahead and generate a lot more interest by saying, I'm going to give 5 treatments away, or 1 session of 5 treatments, but make a deal with that person that, again, if you do well, that they'll give you a testimonial.
Okay.
The strongest thing that you can have is before your patients leave, and after the show we could actually help you with that and show you some of that, but you can just use a small digital camera and get a testimonial where the person says, I was in tremendous pain, I went through the McKenzie system, and now I'm pain-free. I would suggest your services.
Okay,
and if you can
great.
get that on tape, you can then convert it to
Okay.
writing, you can put it in your website, and you can use the same testimonials 3 or 4 times.
One of the things I did start to do lately is, as you would probably imagine, some people call, and as soon as they hear cash, thank you very much. So one of the things I'm doing is offering to do like a free short consultation with them, just tell them how this approach is very different from what they've been through before, talk to them a little bit, and kind of get a sense if it's something that I believe that this would be beneficial for.
Now,
Can't sell them over the phone. You got to
Yeah.
bring them in. Exactly right. Go
but
ahead.
some of the people are actually using insurance of some sort.
Only Medicare, workers' comp, and auto. Otherwise, no. They can submit this to their insurance for reimbursement, but often people have a very high deductible. One of the things I'm using as well to help get over that hurdle is to say, often people have $40, $50 copays. My fee is just slightly higher than that, so if you look at the fact that you're going to have one-on-one with me for an hour, that's a whole lot different than most places where you're lumped in with other patients and you get a few minutes of therapy here and there.
Now, Medicare, is that people that are over 65? Have you tried to go to some of the older communities, like an Ann's Choice or something like that, and maybe talk to them about either subletting space, or like you said, maybe have a Wednesday that you go over there, do a little seminar, and then you could possibly even have a try before you buy it right there.
Right.
And you have ACT in the area, you have Ann's Choice, there's a whole bunch of those type of facilities.
I wanted to go back. We talked about the marketing material, and I have your business card, and
Thank you.
and the first thing I see when your business card is a couple of things that I wanted to mention. And luckily business cards are cheap.
Yes.
So we can redo this one pretty
absolutely.
quick. First thing is it's very difficult to read.
It's busy. It's too busy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the color
pretty.
choices. What's that?
It's pretty.
It is pretty. Yeah,
I've had a lot of positive comments about it. Feels warm. It feels
Right.
homey. So, but
again, the colors is difficult to read. And I learned this lesson also with the Mall Stores card. It's kind of funny. One of the lessons I learned is that my card does not go through a card scanner. Now, that's not a major problem, but this card will definitely not go through a card scanner. But again, not a major problem because the number one reason people want your business card is to get your phone number. And again, as you can see in the corner, it's the most difficult thing to read on the card is your phone number.
It is.
And then another thing is, right here, diplomat in the McKenzie method. All right, now, if someone knows what the McKenzie method is, this is a great card. It's a terrible card for me because I have no idea what the McKenzie method is.
Okay.
But your tagline's good, helping you to a pain-free life.
Exactly.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I would almost have that
Exactly.
as my bold, and then saying using the McKenzie method.
Okay.
Or point them to your webpage for more
I like
information
that.
or something like that.
Yeah, and then I'm not a big fan. I don't know about your opinion. I'm not a big fan of putting all the initials after your name. Now, I get it because you're proud of everything you've done, but no one knows what those initials are.
Okay.
And sometimes it detracts from your name, and it also basically says, look at me, I'm big, and maybe I'm not affordable.
Okay.
So, and this is just an opinion.
Okay.
You'll go back and
that's
forth.
helpful.
I don't know what your opinion is on that one.
I share the same opinion as far as that's concerned with something like this. After your name, all those acronyms, could you be a certified something or other?
Actually, it might not
To
even be bad if she
encapsulate that.
said Kay Scanlon certified in the McKenzie method underneath her name,
That might work.
and got rid of all of that, and then
Okay.
and then put in the big big print in the middle, helping you to a pain-free life.
Okay, good. Yeah,
You know,
I like
that may
idea.
actually be very helpful. And then you have also a postcard, right?
Yeah,
Which is
and that's what I kind of sent out as an announcement
Okay,
when
and
I
this
opened.
went in
So I sent
envelopes?
it to all former patients, all the physicians I work with, and yes.
I like that a lot better. It's very difficult. Business cards, personally, I don't really like them that much because, say you go to a business card mixer or something like that, these are the type of things that you come home and you have a rubber band around them, there's
Right,
1,000 on your
right,
desk,
right.
so they're not real good. If I were to go to a mixer, even having one of these and one of these,
Okay.
and give you one of these, this is something that the person can't put in their pocket or something like that. This is more likely to go home and be on the top of your desk,
Sure.
where tomorrow morning they come and they go, oh, that's right, I was thinking about that.
Okay.
So those are a lot more effective.
I'm a big fan of going to mixers without business cards. And
I use
saying-
something different. I have actually a CD case that I use.
Oh, that's a great idea.
It's, it really works well. I have a CD on there that it tells you a little bit about me. You can put it in your computer or in a
Okay.
car and listen to it about it. It's got a little bit of experts of some of the speaking you do. If you record that, you can give them a sample so that if they can't be at that recording, they can call and you can get their
Okay.
email address and their home address and send it out to them. It's pretty inexpensive. And they get a real nice package where it's literally a CD case.
And
Okay.
of course, the
Has
DVD, you can do that
testimonials
too.
and-
Yeah, same thing. DVD with
Okay.
video, same thing. You can do that as well. Sorry, I had to mention video.
No, that's fine. I think if you don't have video on your webpage and if you don't have video in your propaganda, you're way behind the times.
Okay.
True. Yeah, matter of fact, I believe you don't have a website at this point, right?
Not yet. It's
Okay, so I would
Down the
definitely
road.
got to do that. You definitely got to get a website, even if you want to build it on your own or hire somebody to do it. But you got to build a website, and you definitely want to put video on it. The one thing you should try to do is buy your name. If you could buy Kay Scanlon, it's great. Whether you use that as your main website or not, but as you start to grow, you want to be able to have people do Google searches on you.
Okay.
So having your name as your website is fantastic. It's not always available because maybe there's another Kay Scanlon out there who already thought of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's great to have that in addition to everything else that you may have as a website. Now, are you just calling your business your name then?
right.
Okay.
Right. So at this point, I'm just a sole proprietor. I'm not incorporated, and this was just the easiest way to get started and get going. I have gone to like Google and Bing and Yahoo and all of those and put up a page for myself, for my practice.
Are you paying for those pages?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay. They're not getting great search results, but as long as you're not paying for them, I don't believe in paying to get placement on
No, I
the
don't
internet because really, if you set up your search engine optimization properly and you set up your website properly, you really don't need to.
Okay.
The other thing you should be doing is also, and I know Trevor's a big fan of this as well, is getting the email addresses of every single person you meet and putting them on an email autoresponder.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can get autoresponders like GetResponse or AWeber. TalkFusion is the video one. You can get all of those, and they're very, very inexpensive to operate. I mean, you can get AWeber. I think it's about $20 a month. GetResponse about $20 a month. TalkFusion is about $35 a month, and you could be emailing your patients or people who you met consistently about specials or ideas. Give them
Referrals.
Yeah, there you go.
Asking them for referrals.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely right. That's exactly
Because
right.
I'm guessing once they're done their 10 or 12 week treatment, hopefully they don't need you again. Not that it sounds worse than it is, but
Right. Right.
fix all their problems. You have a very short cycle.
Unless they injure a different body part. but
Right,
yeah,
right, right.
it's-
Who is your most profitable? If you bill Medicare, Workman's Comp, and Auto, who pays the best?
Medicare.
Medicare.
Good. Wow.
I would certainly.
For right now. We'll see what happens this
No,
year in
that's good,
Congress,
though.
but for right now.
But if that's the case, that's where I would be concentrating all of my efforts. Or not all of my efforts, 80% of my efforts. It's the old 80-20 rule. You're going to get most of your business from the place that hopefully pays you the most money.
Other than cash. I mean, obviously the cash is the best, but
Right.
Medicare would be right.
I would also think Medicare would have the biggest audience for you and be the easiest to attract those people.
Okay.
Are you in any networking groups, BNI, LaTip, or anything like that?
Chamber
That's
of
gonna be my
Commerce.
next question.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, do that. Also, I would join either a LaTip or a BNI group. They're expensive, but they really will. And by the way, when you find a BNI group, and this is a great suggestion for anybody out there, you find a BNI, Business Network International, I believe it's called.
Yes.
And Latip is the other one. Try to find one that's big, at least 35 members. You'll find a lot of chapters that are new chapters or chapters that are struggling, and if they only have 10 or 15 members, it's not worth your money, it's not worth your time.
Sure.
So you want to get chapters with big members. There's quite a few in the area. Whatever, you could actually do a search online for them, for your area, and go that way and go visit them. If you see that there's not a whole lot of people there, if you see that they're not organized, don't join them.
You can try them for 1 or 2 times.
Yeah, exactly.
You join
Right.
them.
Yeah,
and it's actually not.
twice.
It's not that bad. I think BNI is about $600 a year.
Yeah, I'm not even sure.
So a couple sales. And the whole idea for those is a referral network.
Right.
So if you go there, you'll be expected to refer other people as well.
And then with that, you want to have a good 30-second commercial, and also you want to have a good 2.5-minute commercial. And the thought process is this: if you were stuck in an elevator, they call it an elevator speech for that reason.
Right.
If you're stuck in an elevator, and I know you did one recently.
Yep.
If you're stuck in an elevator with someone who you want to get as a client, and you got 30 seconds before that door opens, how much information can you give them? So you want to have that, and then also a 2.5-minute commercial when somebody, if you're at a meeting, or not a chamber group, for example, and you're talking to someone, and they say, "Hey, what do you do?" Because that's the most logical question. You really have more than 30 seconds with them. You have 2.5 minutes,
Sure.
So you can get a little more detail. And you want to hit their hot buttons in this. Pain. I mean, you talk to everybody; they're in pain. They're in pain some way or another, right? And you want to hit their hot buttons. Do you have neck pain? Do you have back pain? And ask them flat out. If they've had that. Have you gone to a chiropractor? Have you gone to this? Have you gone to another doctor? Are you taking any medication every day? And this way you're hitting their hot buttons and you're saying, hey, I may have a solution for you.
Now, if somebody were to ask you right now, just off the cuff, what do you do? What would you tell them?
I'm a physical therapist and I use the McKenzie method. It's a method that actually looks at using exercise or movement to get rid of pain. Rather than going 4 to 6 weeks for strengthening or stretching, you see an immediate result usually at the first or second visit.
I would start it just a different way.
Okay.
If I were to go ahead and have 10 physical therapists in front of me, and I would say, what do you do? I'm a physical therapist. I'm a physical therapist. It doesn't set you apart.
Okay.
If you were to go ahead and say something where I help people who are in excruciating pain, or I bring people from pain back to something else, you get their attention. And then you can follow up with that and say, we use the McKenzie method. Do you know what the McKenzie method is? And if they say no, there's your entree.
Okay. Excellent.
It's still a little bit more effective.
Yep. Grabs them off the bat.
You have to.
Right, because what you're doing is you're assuming people know what it is. Assume they don't know what it is. Assume that you made it up yesterday.
Okay.
And no one's heard of it. And that way you can describe it, and put it in your just as Trevor's saying, put it in your
If you told me you were going to use the McKenzie method, I'd be scared.
It's exactly right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Only because I have, like you said, I have no idea what it is.
Okay.
Right?
Good.
Very cool.
Do you have any goals as far as sales are concerned? I mean, other than sell as much as I can.
Be profitable by the end of the year.
Okay, well, and I'm all about that. I agree with that. But to be profitable, you have to have, expense-wise, it's not that bad. Your fixed expenses are only about $700 a month.
Right, and I know right now I'm small. As I grow a little bit, I may need a little larger space, and that may start to escalate things. I don't have a website up yet, so that's going to be more expense.
I would sit down and I would put down, what I always tell people is, pretend money wasn't an object. If you're going to go ahead and design your business, what would you do? That doesn't mean you're going to have a 10,000 square foot facility, but in your case, you might have a 700 or 1,000 square foot facility. Put all those numbers down. And if you have to hire a receptionist, or if you have to get virtual assistants or phone or something like that, get that budget, know exactly what your target is.
Sure.
Once we have that target, and say that target is, $3,000 a month, now you have to have 30 patients a month. And then we just break it down a little bit more and say, it's 8 patients a week. And then 8 is your goal. And if you don't get 8 patients, obviously you have a problem.
Right.
We work towards that 8. Otherwise, you're just going to keep on going.
Right.
I get the feeling that you wake up in the morning and you don't take this the wrong way, you don't have a plan.
Right.
My plan is,
right.
I got to make money.
Right.
That's my plan.
Yeah, and if I would have started planning this much sooner, I would be more on track now, but it really came about very suddenly.
But you know what? Just by sitting here and coming on the show and everything like that, you're taking a step. I really applaud you. Like, that's a lot more. Most entrepreneurs or business people are going to sit at home and have their coffee and go, I need to make money today.
Yeah.
And then at noon they're going, God, I really need to make money today.
And
at
I
5
found out,
o'clock,
too,
I'm missing.
You're right. If you
I should have made money today.
Make a plan, it'll never happen. So you just kind of drift along. So you have got to have a goal that you're working towards.
Absolutely. And we can break it down in small steps.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, you're doing very well. For a month, I'm pretty impressed at some of the things she's created. And again, there's a lot of things you can do and a lot of steps you're going to take here. We're going to, of course, have you back and find out what you've done.
Okay.
Is there anything else that we want to add that she should be doing immediately?
I just have one other question. Well, I'll probably have two or three, but...
That's okay.
You had a partner before.
Yes.
Have you considered having another partner that would bring... Like, it sounds like you have the whole scientific side, the McKenzie, the treatment. Have you thought about joining with a partner that's got the sales side? I'm not even saying they have to be a physical therapist, but...
I haven't. No, it's something I could certainly think about and consider. At this point in my life, I'm not looking to really grow this to a large practice like I had before. I really want to keep it small, myself.
And that's okay. That's what I'm...
low.
Okay.
That's what I had envisioned. But I may come to a point where I do need somebody to handle more of the administrative aspect of it, and that would be a consideration.
You absolutely need that, and I think you need it now more than you need it then.
Okay.
Because there's only 40 hours in a week.
I've been doing 80.
I believe
Right,
that,
yep.
but that's no good.
Right,
You need to
right.
be able to go ahead and be profitable in 40 or less.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to find ways. You could even take this system. I mean, I need to know more about what the McKenzie method is, but could you go ahead and create a self-help DVD, or maybe you could sell it for...
No, it's proprietary information, but that's available. And actually, it's coming out in another week through the company that we deal with McKenzie. But no, you can't really do that.
Okay.
Do they have a DVD?
That's what I was saying. It's coming out.
So
in
we can
another
have her
week.
introduce herself in front of the DVD.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some way where if they're coming out with this DVD, are you allowed to sell that DVD then? Or is it something you give away?
No, I can sell it. And right now there's books. Treat Your Own Back, Treat Your Own Neck, Treat Your Own Sprains and Strains books that I sell and can certainly promote. And when the video comes out, I'll be able to do the same thing with that.
I'm looking more of have a package.
Okay.
Where maybe, does it benefit anybody to do it, if you do it 8 to 10 weeks and then come back in a month, does that help? Or 2 months, like ongoing treatment? Maybe what I'm saying is maybe you could sell them a 6-month program. Bring the dollars down a little bit so it's not $100 every visit. Maybe it's only, $200 a month, but it's for 6 months rather than for 1 month. We could help you stratify all that. And that way you've got customers for 6 months now, not 1 month. You're supplementing with a DVD. You're supplementing with some training. You might even be able to have some consulting calls or online seminars that, again, part of your package to, again, hold them accountable. Make sure they're doing their exercises or their follow-up or whatever they have to do.
The other thing you also may want to do is a discount for prepayment of all visits up front. And that way, because look, typically if it's a 6 or 8 visits, you know what happens? They come for 5 or 6, and then they don't come back the last 2. So if they prepay up front, and if they don't come, that's okay, they prepaid. But at least this way you're getting the payment up front. Say, hey, we'll give you 10% discount if you pay for, all 6 visits, or we'll give you the last visit for free. However, I don't know what your numbers are, but we'll give you the last visit for free. You can calculate what those numbers are. And that way they pay up front, you get a discount, or you could do 3 as a discount. Again, this way, again, you're getting paid up front. And you can use that money up front, I'm sure, especially with a struggling business.
Okay.
So we have just a few minutes left.
What about, are there other people who practice the McKenzie method?
Yes.
Have you thought about talking to some of those practices as far as overflow work? If you've got, maybe you have one or two, I have no idea, 1 or 2 that are booked, and you could make them a deal where you won't take their customer, sign a non-disclosure, and even give them a discounted rate, because right now, if you've got 40 hours a week that you're not practicing, so you're only practicing 20, those extra 20 hours, right now I'd rather see you bill half your rate or 3/4 of your rate, let them make a little bit of money and fill your schedule, till you can fill your schedule with full-paying customers.
Okay. That's a thought as well.
That's a great idea. Very good idea.
I get 1 a day, so that's it. I'm done.
You had quite a few today.
Good.
No, I think we're in good shape.
Yeah, I think you're doing good. Actually, I'm very impressed. I'm
Thank you.
glad to hear
Thanks.
that you're doing well for just a month. Actually, So I would have to say, this business is for real.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
If we had more time, we could spend 10 more hours, but
Well, yeah.
in a half hour,
Okay.
that's about all you
You'll
can
have to
do.
charge him at his regular rate.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll bill you at his regular rate.
Right,
Exactly.
right. And the next time you have back or neck pain,
I will
Absolutely.
certainly
care
call.
of
Yeah.
Absolutely.
all that flying and driving you do, you must get some.
Some, yeah, I get a lot of massages. I definitely do.
How can you help him? No, I'm looking. Well, that's it for our show today. And actually, we found that Kay's business is definitely for real. Thank you so much, Trevor. It was awesome to have you here.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, Kay, for being in the hot seat. And
Great.
we're really looking forward to finding out how you do.
Definitely,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah,
Follow
great.
up with us.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we will definitely do a follow-up
luck.
show. And good luck, and thanks so much.
Great. Thank you.
And if you want to be on our show, you can either be a guest expert, or if you have a new business or a struggling business, we'd love to have you on the show to help you out. Thanks again.